Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome along to round 5 of the OOR World Championship in 2019. We're back in Baku. It's the Azerbaijan Grand Prix and the fourth running around the streets of the Azerbaijani capital as we wait for all the drivers to finish up their quali runs in the wet. Let's take a look at the track, shall we? It's the second longest track on the Formula 1 calendar, 3.7 miles in length, or 5.95 for those of you on the metric system. 26 laps this afternoon, 8 corners to the right, 12 corners to the left, and 2 very long DRS zones to boot, so plenty of overtaking. And with me on the commentary box is last year's Tier 1 champion and this season's contender, Jiddybit. Welcome.
Yeah, good to be here, Robert. I'm looking forward to the race here and hoping we get a good one out of it. You have to be really careful around the track, making sure you stay away from the walls, but also trying to take each lap as fast as you can. So it's important for these guys to get that balance right.
Absolutely, and we're just having a quick look at the qualifying standards here. Spartan has actually placed third, but he is going to receive a 5-position grid penalty for making contact with ESL earlier in the session.
Yeah, and I think Elite Alex has also qualified first for, is it many times in a row now? Or?
Yeah, 4 times in a row now, I think. He just needs to convert that into a race win, and he could be right up the top there contending for the championship.
Yeah, definitely. I noticed there were a couple lower down there as well. You saw Zylantos, I think he was in 10th
Down
or
in
something
10th,
like
yeah.
that. Yeah, so he usually qualifies higher up, so he'll look to make amends for that. And there were the 3 guys at the bottom, Oswegian, High Comp, and Salt, who were all unable to set times, so they will look to get a points paying position at the end of the race.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, look, it wasn't great for pure Salt, to be honest, or pure NACL, if you want to get the pronunciation 100% right. But yeah, he's 100% down lower than where he'd want to be, particularly for the Ferrari, so he's also going to be looking to gather a couple of places, but we're just going to wait for them to all line up here on the grid. Dizzo, obviously, having a good season. He's qualified second, I believe I saw there in the qualifying standings, and he's been having an absolute blinder of a season. So is Jigglybuff, so it'd be interesting to see how those two go against each other. I think I saw Jigglybuff in third there.
Yeah, DZZR, I don't know how to pronounce his name.
I say Dizzo, yeah.
A Renault teammate of mine, so always hope that he does well. And it's worth noting from qualifying as well that all these guys will have free tyre choice at the start of this race here because it was raining in that qualifying session and they were all on intermediate, so
correct, yeah.
Start on the ultras, the supers, or the softs, whatever you want. It's free choice. Yeah,
it's going to be interesting to see what decisions they actually end up making, whether definitely. They're going to go on a 1-stop or a 2-stop. It'd be interesting to see anyone who tries the 1-stop on the ultra soft tyre. I think we're probably going to be sitting here waiting for a little while as they make that decision. I believe the 1-stop on the softs to the super softs is meant to be the fastest route, but a 2-stop could be done as well, depending on traffic and things of that nature, and if you were really good around this track.
Yeah, it really depends. Like, if you can make the moves earlier on in the race, especially if you have guys starting on the soft or the super soft and you start on the ultra, you can definitely gain a few positions, and then other guys battling will hold each other up. So if you do a 2-stop in that regard, and then pit for super softs twice, that'd help out your race, or even pit for ultra softs at the end. The other option is the super soft to soft. That's probably the main 1-stop strategy that people will take here.
And when do you think you'd be pitting for the 1-stop strategy, do you reckon? Around lap, 10, 11?
On the super softs, yeah, something like 10, 11, 12, something like that. So the super soft should go to lap 16, but that's really killing them. So you'd want to pit a bit earlier on to get the undercut and then take the softs to the end. I can take them from about lap 6 or 7, so they'd be pretty safe from lap 10.
Yeah, and you do want to be safe. You don't want to be pushing tyres, I don't think, really, would you? Because the moment you lose grip, you're in a wall, and that's just not where you want to be.
No, and setup really plays a part as well. If you're on a setup which really kills the tyres and is really unstable towards the end of that tyre stint, it's going to feel awful.
All right, so we have 5 red lights. They're all lined up on the grid. And we're away. We've got a couple of grid changes already as Barefoot jumps. I think that was the Toro Rosso. We're about to go full right into the corner.
There.
Oh my god, and a spin.
Spun round too.
Oh, that's not looking good.
Bit of ghosting there as well from the Sauber.
The Williams still hasn't gotten ready.
Oh, the Ferrari has died.
Oh, he's not going to be happy with that. The Ferrari is already out. That's already one on the list, as Spartan has absolutely not done well at all, unfortunately spinning He's not going to be happy there. We've got a grid change.
Oh, the Mercedes absolutely sending it into turn 3.
Oh,
Lost
my
a bit of
God.
wing there, lucky to be alive still.
Oh my god, they're all lucky to still be alive, to be perfectly honest. Barefoot not doing too bad, he's made a grid position. There's a couple of changes going on. Cobalt has unfortunately dropped right down to the back. As we ride on board with Zylantos, we'll just check where Cobalt's... Yeah, Cobalt's still just trying to get out of that slipway, unfortunately. As we're just going through the list of the drivers, just seeing how they're all doing. Oh, someone's gone wide there. No, it's Barefoot.
Tutor Ross is ready to go through the castle here. Is anyone going to crash up here?
This will be interesting to see, won't it?
There's some yellow
And
flags.
there has been some yellow flags. There has been a crash. As poor Spartan is just trying to avoid crashing.
Has to take avoiding action, yeah.
And Spooks.
It looks like it was Spooks maybe potentially caused all that, but...
Ghosting not quite working there, it looks like. So, unfortunately, there's now going to be a bit of a gap between a couple of drivers as ESL hits the wall. He's managed to hold on to it, but I dare say there's going to be some wing damage there. Although High Comp going quite slowly as well. ESL might be able to get around him coming down the straight. He looks like he thought about it coming into that corner, but High Comp's just gotten away with it too, yeah.
He might be... Oh, he's slowing down a lot. That looks like wing damage to me.
Yeah, they both look like they've got wing damage, I think, but who's going to stay out? Who's going to be the courageous one? As we're just running through a couple of the drivers. We can't catch all the incidences, unfortunately, so we're just going to have a look at second Jigglybuff in second place. Elite Alex has managed to hold on to first place. We've got a couple of pits coming in, the ESL, High Comp both going in. IFAP to Jesus.
Well.
Yeah, Burner Bear.
There'll be a stack there, unfortunately, like that.
Yeah, that's unfortunately. The drivers obviously haven't been talking to each other as we ride on board with Burner Bear. Thinks about making a move on Oswegian. Going to be patient, going to wait to take down the straight. Spartan.
Ferrari.
Just letting Spartan through there.
Go through there. Yeah.
Spartan not going to be happy with this race. The first 5-place grid penalty, and then he starts from the back with a spin on the first corner.
I wonder if he still has his front wing though, because he did stay out. So
it's going to be very interesting. Burner Bear making a move on Oswegian. That looked nice and easy. Didn't look like Oswegian gave it too much of a fight there. Looks like Spooks is in. I think Spooks just went into the pits. So a lot of front wing damage getting repaired there. People making the early decision to do that, which is probably a good decision. You don't really want to stay out here on front wing damage.
It looked like there was a change between the Williams there too. It looked like they swapped positions. I think Oswegian had wing damage or something to that effect. High Comp left the session.
I believe that was, like from memory, that was a disconnect. If I'm
okay, right. Yeah, it says he's on an outlap, so coming out of the pits potentially.
Danman and Rustico up higher than where they normally would be placing, so they're going to be pretty chuffed with that. Hopefully they can maintain those positions.
Alex already setting the fastest lap onto lap 3 now.
Yeah.
4-second gap to his teammate behind him.
So as things just sort of slightly calm down now a bit, and people are starting to pick and choose and find their battles.
Bernabear is going to be under immense pressure here, coming down the main straight.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see who's going to be a hero and who's...
and Zylantos making a move on Barefoot as well.
Spartan takes both of them! And is he going to have a go at Zylantos? Is Zylantos going to defend?
Dives it a bit hard. He looks to pull the car up though, but Zylantos pulls a nice switch back on him and gets the position back. Well
done, Zylantos. That was just good under pressure. Didn't lose it, and just did the switch back and took back the position when he could. Although he's going to have to, he's coming under pressure again down the second straight.
DRS activated now, so it'll be harder to hold it down those straights.
Oh, he squeezes him.
Pushed a little bit wide.
Absolutely squeezing him.
As they come into the middle sector. Two cars still close together here. Bernabear pushing on the back of Zylantos.
So what we might do is things have just calmed down here, Jiddy. We're just going to have a look at the race start again, and it was absolute pandemonium. We're just going to slow this right down and just watch some of these collisions. Spartan trying to be a bit heroic there. It just has not worked for him. As we see a couple of other collisions with McLaren and the Alfa Romeo. Yeah, a couple of people...
with Spartan as well, he caused that all himself, the spin, the collision. He just tried to go up the inside of like 3 cars who were just trying to make the corner, and it was just
never going to work. So we'll just go back and have another look at that race start. Just look at some of those cars already off the line so quickly there. It was just yeah, some people had some really good starts there, and just look at that pace. Just looking at the poor Red Bull of, I think that's what, Barefoot Bandit, and yeah, there's the collision with High Comp, and I think that's Xylantos. I think Xylantos may have got a push up the back there, unfortunately, and there's the there's the crash for poor Pure Salt. You can just barely see what happens. Let's see if we can't just
in the background.
See if we can't just rewind that ever so slightly and just see what's gone on.
And you know,
there.
with the Toro Rosso of ESL2, he got a bit of a poor start, and he had the Mercedes of Spooks on his outside.
So here, what happens with here we go? What happens with the Ferraris? Because there's Salt as he comes out wide. I think he may have clipped the Red Bull. It looks like, and just completely lost the wing.
The Red Bull was looking to pull out on the car ahead of him. I'm not sure who it was at the time.
So let's just travel a bit further along.
I think what happened is they both pulled out at the same time. The Ferrari had a slightly better run and he's clipped the back, but for the wheel to come off like that.
There's the dive from Spooks. That was just never going to work, was it?
Yeah, I think he just got caught out by how early everyone braked there. It's the thing you've got to note is it's lap 1. People are going to brake earlier, so you've got to take that extra care. And he's tried to go to the outside.
Oh, absolutely braking way too late. So, yeah, there's the wing
gone. If he didn't
gone.
have Dan Man, he would have been all right.
He was very
corner potentially.
He was very lucky not to lose that entire car, in my opinion. So we're back on board with Bernabé, who's trying to chase down Xylantos. She's not having a bad run at the moment, to be perfectly honest. I'm not sure if she's taken any wing damage, actually, which is good on her part.
Yeah, she's fallen a bit behind Xylantos there, but hopefully looking to make that ground up. You've got
Spartan looking good, up in 6th after that spin on lap 1.
Yeah, I don't know if he's changed his wing yet, but he's still going pretty strong up in 6th, so if it's not causing him too much time loss, then he may as well stay out.
Who's that? That's
he is actually right on Rustico right now.
Oh, we've got a retirement of Spooks. What's happened?
Oh, unfortunate.
Oh,
wow.
Geez, not often you lose it there.
Yeah, maybe the back end lost through the braking zone or something like that, rear locking, but...
Oh, that is a really weird place to lose it. So there's our second retirement for the races. We're on board with Barefoot, chasing down High Comp, who I think has just reconnected. There was a connection issue there, and I think he has just reconnected.
These guys are teammates as well.
Oh, God, I'm having flashbacks.
Oh, he's gone for the dive on his teammate.
Oh, that just hasn't worked.
Was that wing damage as well? I'm not sure. You would think it would be with the speed they collided at.
Geez, that was
look to make another move here.
That was some bloody deja vu from 2018 actual F1.
Oh, with the Red Bulls too.
Oh my God, yeah, it looked like that's what was going to happen there for a second.
Baku hasn't made that corner too well, and his teammate is right back on the back of it.
Yeah, it looks like Barefoot had a better exit out of there, and he, if he can ride on board with him for the rest of the lap, he might get him down the straight here.
It's worth noting as well, further up the field, Spartan didn't manage to catch Rustico just down the main straight. It looked like he had a bunch more speed, so Rustico had to make a massive lift or something to that effect.
Yep, so Spartan up into 5th. He's having a good run.
Yeah, definitely, especially with what happened at the start.
Yeah.
Clean through the castle there. I always get nervous watching other people go through there.
Yeah, a lot of dicey moments watching people go through there. Right, so here we go. Looks like we might get to ride on board with the Red Bulls for the overtake. Looks like Barefoot's lost a bit of time. He might not be within a second. Yeah,
that's the crucial part of the lap too.
Yeah.
They're both on the same tyre as well. So I'm thinking he does have wing damage if that's the case from that collision with his teammate a bit earlier on. I can't see the wing too clearly. Potentially missing some cascades. We switch to ESL here, right on the back of Cobalt. Barefoot Bandit is retired as well.
There must have been wing damage. He must have hit it on the... Let's see if we can...
I think he's tried to take it flat. Actually,
that's a weird... It's a weird... Maybe he lost the back end.
Yeah.
Weird spot to lose. A weird spots to lose it.
Toro Rosso, looking to make a move on Cobalt, decides to tuck in behind for the time being. You'll have to follow him through this little sector unless he makes a mistake.
Yeah, so again, you just got to be...
to make a move at the end of the lap.
Yeah, you got to be patient. You've got to be patient. Don't want to see too many moves through some of these corners because it's just not going to get done. These cars are not wide enough, as we will look at. Rustico looks like he's close enough to, Zylantos, I should say, rather, is close enough to Rustico to make a move as well if he can get and stay within a second down Sutton straight.
Yeah, doing well as well. He started in 10th, he's already made 3 position, and now he's looking to make it 4.
Yeah, on the Super Softs, well against Rustico on the Ultra Softs, although I dare say Rustico's probably going to be losing some grip right about now.
Around
that is not where you want to make that move. Oh! Zylantos, that is
a lot of wing damage.
I said to you earlier, I don't want to see people making those sorts of moves, and
he's hit the wall as well.
Thankfully, Ghosty's on. Yeah, I see earlier. That's not where you want to be making moves, and lo and behold, that's the reason why.
ESL is right on the back of Cobalt. We're looking to get the slipstream through here.
Here we go. Hopefully, we'll see some good overtaking here down the straight.
Lifting off quite a lot, actually, but he's still right with Cobalt.
Now, I'm wondering if it's Cobalt who's got the wing damage or if it's ESL.
Yeah, he might have just been patient, knew he had the wing damage, but just said, I'll lift off as well, because he's going to go slow through here.
Yeah, you don't want to be
behind him for a couple laps, so he knows his pace will go.
Easy move. Cobalt knows it.
By the looks of things.
Cobalt's going to give it to him. He's not going to fight that one, so good move from ESL there, as we have a change of position between High Comp and... Oh, Zylantos is pitting. Okay, yes, of course, that's why.
Changing that wing, he would want to continue.
You would absolutely not know.
He'd be thankful there's no rear end damage in this game either, because he was hitting the wall with the rear, with the front, everything.
Oswegian also getting the position off Zylantos in the pits. Looks like Zylantos is going to try and go long in this stint now onto the softs, so hopefully he's not going to pit ever again.
You know from about here, you'll have to be very careful at the end though and make sure his tyres aren't running.
Yeah, and
definitely possible.
Rustico, Burnabear, and Danman, and Cobalt, all on 5 laps on the Ultra Softs. I know that right about now they'd be starting to switch off, starting to lose a grip around here. I think you want to be going about till lap 7 on the Ultra Softs if you want to try and do a one-stop onto the softs. And I'm just thinking that they're probably losing grip right about now, so they're either going to be driving real slow, or someone's going to be in a wall shortly.
Yeah, it's around lap 6, 7 that you want to pit on those tyres. You do not want to spend too long on them, and you can see the leaders are up to lap 7 at this point. So is Danman going to make the choice to pit? It looks like he would have already, so he's going around for another lap once to take it to lap 7.
Brave on his part, if I do say so myself. I would have gotten off, although we don't know what his tyre weight's like. He might be very good on his tyres, so maybe we can catch a look. We can maybe see some graining on the tyres as Burnabear comes in. Both coming in. Yep. So as I predicted, these drivers are now going to go onto, I assume, the softs. Bold to go onto the super softs. Although a 2-stop does work around here if you're fast enough. So it looks like they have all gone onto the super soft. So bold decision. Looks like they're going onto a 2-stop strategy, which is interesting from my perspective. They're going to want to be fast around here because they're going to have to go for a second stop. So they're going to be putting in fastest lap after fastest lap as High Comp. Another DNF for him, unfortunately, this season.
There he is, actually. There's his cars. Oh, no, that's Oswegian, sorry.
Yeah, that was Oswegian. There he is.
And there's High Comp.
Again, an odd place to lose it.
I think he's probably damaged the wing somewhere and hit the wall coming into that corner. Because if you try to take that flat, you are going to hit the wall on the outside.
Potentially. So, unfortunate, there's our 4th DNF for the race. Both Red Bulls out, so team's not going to be happy there. As we get a safety car.
Oh. You don't see that very much.
You don't see that very often, no.
We're going to get everyone bunched up here and potentially some pitting. Those guys that pitted last lap will be absolutely kicking that has happened right now.
Hey, if I were lead Alex or Jigglybuff, I'd be diving into the pits as soon as I could.
Yep, definitely. You can take the softs from the end here, and it's better to take that stop under the safety car.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. And there's a good gap between the top 3 drivers to Danman. I think it's about a 20-second lap normally.
They wouldn't even lose too much position.
They wouldn't lose too many positions at all. Yeah, absolutely. So, good decision to be making right now if they're smart enough. Who are we watching now? Watching Zylantos, who's on the softs, although
the lead has pitted as well. Good
on him. Alright, so I assume he's going to be going into the softs to go into... that Jigglybuff's in as well, so they're all making the right decision here. Yep, that's not going to be good. Although, how long is this pit stop around here as I bloody pause the game again? Hang on. Oh, there we go.
I'm not actually too sure. I think it's under 20 seconds.
Okay, well, It hasn't looked like they've switched positions. So, interesting decision there by lead Alex to go into the Ultra Softs.
Yeah, he can't go to the end on that, so he's looking to two-stop from this point, so...
Which is an interesting decision. He has the track position. Why wouldn't you go on to the softs, Jiddy? I don't quite understand.
But Jiggly's also gone onto the super softs, so...
Yeah.
They're not looking to one-stop these guys up ahead. They want the raw pace and then pit again.
Yeah, well, I suppose if the people you're racing around you are going onto the same compound of tire, well, similar compound of tire that's going to require another stop, well, I suppose there's no disadvantage to that, but it's just a weird move looking at it. And DZZR, or Dizzer as I pronounce it, is not pitting either. He's got time to do it.
That's an interesting choice, because if he had it pitted for the softs and those guys ahead of him they pitted for those softer compound tyres, he would have a massive advantage coming into the end stage of the race.
Yeah,
because he could keep with those guys, and when they have to pit, then they're going to be screwed because they're going to come out 10 seconds behind him. Yes, he'll be on a harder compound and a more worn compound, but that's a lot of time to make up in the late stages of the race.
Yeah, and seeing some clever decisions here from ESL, particularly Spartan. Spartan's had a really just blinder of a race, made up so many positions, and he's just pitted for the softs, I've just seen. So he's looking to go to on those to the end of the race, which is a smart decision in my eyes. Although I am just getting reports that there might be some rain as Rustico runs up the back of the there in under safety car. That's that's a bit unfortunate there, Rustico. We're going to be given him.
I think that's a stop-go penalty for that, so he will have 5 seconds at the moment. Potentially.
But yeah, I was just getting some reports, Jiddy, that there may be some rain on the way. So if we factor that into the race, doing the softer compound tyre isn't looking so silly anymore.
Yeah, definitely. So if everyone has to pit again for intermediates, then pitting under the safety car for a softer compound and pitting when the rain eventually does come, it's a very smart decision.
Now the question will be is, when is the rain coming? Jigglybuff thinks not for a while, Elite Alex thinks pretty soon. So
yeah, Elite will be hoping it pours very, very quickly.
We're going to have to wait and see who's right and who's wrong. They've both taken the gamble. Let's see who's rolled a 6 and who's rolled Snake Eyes.
It's worth noting as well with Dizzer, he will want those softs to go as far as he can get them and hope the rain comes down as well. So he's in the same boat as Elite Alex, and he'll want to hold Elite up as well. So he's just praying that rain comes down, because if he has to pit for another dry tyre and then it rains, that essentially ruins his chance of winning this race.
Now, we spoke earlier and we said that the Super Softs were going to go for about 10, 11 laps. He's already on lap 9 under the safety car, and I understand that yes, he's probably not losing as much grip driving around a bit slower, but I'm just concerned that the tyres are obviously going to be colder, and I'm worried that they're maybe not going to switch on again for him, and he might have an issue here.
Yeah, getting them warmed up after a safety car restart can take some time, and he is on a harder compound, so they'll take even warmer than the Ultra Softs. So Elite on his brand new Ultra Softs, he'll have a ton of grip on that restart, and will look to jump in there as soon as he can. But with his super soft tyre, it can go about 16 laps if you're really careful with them. So around that point they get to about 70%, and you don't want to go any higher than that because you just lose a ton of grip, and also you can get a puncture.
So we're just waiting for the safety car to be ending, which it doesn't appear to be doing yet. So we're still just going around in circles as slowly as fast as possible. you want to do it slowly, but yeah.
These guys further behind are still catching up, so you can see the gap between Spartan and ESL is about 5 seconds. He is catching it now. So we're following with Zylantos, who is a further 10-15 seconds behind.
Yeah, who's got IFAT hot on his tail as well. So
are coming into the last sector, so potentially safety car coming in this lap.
So now I assume all the race engineers are telling them about the oncoming rain. It's interesting to see that those on the soft tyre are staying out. I would think that if rain was predicted in, let's say, I don't know, another 5-10 minutes time, would you not be pitting under the safety car? Particularly Zylantos, who was on the softs when the safety car came out. I would have pitted onto a softer compound tyre potentially if there was rain not too far away.
Potentially, yeah. It looks like they've pitted under the safety car for those softs as well, so they're even hoping that it doesn't rain, because if it doesn't rain, they're in the best position.
ESL looked like he was avoiding a collision at the back of Spartan there.
Oh yeah, these guys are getting very close together, and with the amount of hard braking you do under the safety car, trying to keep everything warm, you get a bit perilous for those guys further back as everything cascades up to them.
So here's our current race leader, Dizzo. What can he do off the race start as soon as the safety car comes in, whenever that might be?
Probably going to be at the end of this lap, I reckon. His race from here is just going to be, can I hold Elite and Jiggly up? Because those are the two he has to focus on. I think Dan Man was probably too far behind, and also he's on the softer tyre, sorry, the harder tyre.
Yeah.
So you won't have to worry about that too much. It's also a question of when the rain comes, because yeah, he's probably going to be hoping the rain doesn't come, because he's going to pit for softs potentially and go to the end of the race.
Yeah, so it looks like we've got everyone bunched up behind the safety car now, so it's no longer a matter of waiting around for anyone to catch up to the queue. It's just a matter of waiting for the safety car to come in, which I do believe is going to be coming in on this lap. So Dizzle wants to get a really good run away from Elite Alex. He does have the better compounder tyre, and it is starting to look a bit cloudy out there. If I can get another view from the T-cam. Yeah, if I can get a view of the T-cam, it was starting to look a little dark, looking a little cloudy. So maybe the rain is coming sooner than Jigglypuff might have gambled on, but we shall see.
Yeah. If it rains like right now, that's really good for Dizzy, because he can do a one-stop onto the intermediate, whereas these guys behind him are stopped, and the safety car...
Right, there we go. The safety car lights have just gone off, so they're all going to now bunch up behind Dizza, as he now effectively becomes the safety car and race leader.
Yep, so he will control the pace from this point. He can go at any point before the safety car line, as long as the safety car is obviously in pit lane. And he is still pretty close to it, so he's not going to have too much time to gamble with here. And it looks like he's already gone.
We've still got people. Looks like we've still got people warming up the tyres behind him. So
just taking it quite fast. Safety car line isn't that.
And we are going. Here we go. Let's see what we can make of this. Dan Man already making up a couple of positions, as well as Spartan. Dan Man back down the lead. Alex back up into second on those grippy Oh, Dan Man, he's gone round.
And it looks like he's absolutely.
Elite Alex has not had a great start off the line. There's
a bunch of debris.
There's debris everywhere, and Spartan has been the winner out of all of that.
Yeah, it looks like he got pretty ruined in all of that.
ASL with a 5-second stop and go penalty for ignoring yellow flags. I'm not sure where that's...
A bunch of penalties. Yeah, those might get looked at after the race. I'm not sure.
Oh, we've got a couple of people coming in hot. Who was that on the under brakes? Was that... Oh, it must have been Oswegian. The Williams of Oswegian there. Going very slowly.
Really slow through the corner, yeah.
Maybe some wing damage?
Yeah, potentially. Even with the wing damage, it was pretty slow for this.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen, though. Look at that. Elite Alex now down into 5th. Jigglypuff actually making a place on his teammate, but still dropping a position. And Dizza being the poorest of them all. 9
positions already.
Just absolutely unfortunate, as we have yellow flags in Sector 2. It looks like Dan Man dropping a couple of positions. Has come even worse off from that. So let's,
he's crashed in the
castle section. So I think that's our first victim of castle section, is it not?
No, we had Spooks.
Oh, Dizza!
And Xylantos has just been collected. That's really unfortunate.
Oh, Xylantos was only a passenger in that instance. What can you do there? I mean...
Yeah, and Dizza's been given the 5-second penalty from the game steward, so...
which is probably fair enough, I would say. But, Xylantos just having an unfortunate run there, as he's just been collected up by Dizza and just had nowhere to go. As I say, just an absolute passenger, and Dizza is out of the race.
Tired. He's tried to go too fast through here, and he's
with that loss of front wing, you really got to lift through there, and he's obviously just not lifted enough or at all.
That's scary at times, going flat with a good front wing on fresh tyres. So.
How unfortunate.
Fairbott's pushing onto the back of Rusty here.
Now let's just go have a bit of a replay. So we're just going to have a look at that safety car restart again, as you see Dan Man, he makes up quite a few places, so does Spartan as well, and we're just really going to slow this down, because it looks like Dan Man might have just broke a little too late, He's collided with Elite Alex and just absolutely gone round. And watch this as Spartan just manages... Dizza had a bit of a crash. That's how that's occurred. So
yeah, and that would have affected a lot of people in the back too, as they had to avoid him on the racing line going slow with all that damage.
So let's have.
I think that accounts for a lot of the front wing there.
Let's just watch that one more time, and just gather all the data and everything that went on. It looks if you just come back one more second for me. If you just watch this, as soon as the safety car goes in, Dan make position. So he. Yep. Absolute opportunist. Absolute opportunist. But I think I just saw some debris flying off there, so someone's collided with someone in the back. And if we slow this right down, looks like the Toro Rosso hasn't had enough time to brake, and he's had to go wide to try and avoid people. Dizza as well, I think, has just gone way too wide. Has tried to come back onto the racing line, and he spun. Collected Elite Alex.
I think that would have been more the contact that was made with him, so the push from Danman would have given him...
There's just
pushed him into the wall.
Debris flying everywhere.
And there's Oswegian going slow and cascading
yep.
At the back. The Toro Rosso getting caught up, and Dizza as well, getting even more front wing damage. And I think there might be a question as well whether Danman jumped a car before he actually reached the safety car line, because that is when you're allowed to overtake. It's not the green flag.
Well, I'm sure the race officials will be taking a look at that. And there's this slow, exit from, or entry, should I say, from Oswegian.
He was going very cautiously through there.
It must just be a loss of grip through, with a lack of front wing. So let's just move.
Just turning in.
Let's just move forward to the incident on Xylantos. As
a little bit of contact there from Danman on the back of Cobalt.
Yeah, he also might have some.
Go for the castle section.
And this will be where you can just see Danman losing it there.
He went very fast into the section there.
So I don't know whether he's just broken too late or what's happened. So
if you slow it right down here, you'll see his car just go extremely fast. So there's his teammate, and there he is.
So there goes Rustico, and he's just obviously too much power or something's going on. Maybe lost it a little bit, and an unfortunate end for Danman there.
Potentially front wing damage playing a part as well.
Yeah,
he might have locked up.
Oh, he's got no more bloody.
Effect.
So here's the issue for Xylantos. Dizza just losing it really poorly, and Dizza was a passenger as much as Xylantos was in that instance, really, wasn't he? There's nothing he could have done.
I think. Yeah, after he hit the wall, he bounced back onto the track, and that would have just been inertia at that point. He had no control over that. It looks like Cobalt is pushing on the back of Rustico here, but...
Interestingly, Jigglypuff going on to the intermediate, so he thinks the rain is not far off at all, which is an interesting decision, because he went on to the Super Sauce, thought it wasn't going to be long at all, so... He's the only one doing it, though, which is very interesting.
It doesn't even look like there's water droplets on screen, so he's hitting on a dry track for intermediate.
Really, really
early. Way too early to be making that call.
You've got Xylantos going on to the Ultra Softs, Elite Alex now going on to the Softs. That may just be that quite might just be game mechanics. Front wing, and as a result, he's had to take a different set of tyres. So Rustico just nipping the wall there. Looks like he might have gotten away with it. I didn't see any front wing debris.
Yeah, if you put it onto the soft tyre because of wing damage, it makes sense. You'd be losing less time putting through another set of dry tyres if you have a front wing. Just because you don't know when that rain's going to come, and if you stay out on a really broken front wing...
Yellow flag, sorry to interrupt you there, Jiddy. We've got a yellow flag in Sector 1. Is anyone retiring? No, looks like whatever it was may have just recovered.
Potentially someone going down an escape road, or DRS getting enabled now by the race control.
Yep, after the safety car, so...
Cobalt is really pushing Rustico here.
Rustico just putting it in the middle, just making it as wide as possible. I think he knows he's got it done for, so he lets Cobalt go past, and that's Cobalt up into third.
Potentially could look at diving here, but it would be pretty silly. Yeah, he just sticks him behind.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to challenge that one. I think Rustico moves up into third as a result of ESL pitting onto the Ultra Sauce, so no other driver apart from Jigglypuff thinks there's rain incoming, and you can just see Jigglypuff is losing so much time to Burnabear here.
I was just going to comment on that. He is losing a heap of time, and Oswegian's now, so is he pitting because of front wing, or is he pitting for wet tyres?
So interesting call for the Haas team here. They've put Elite Alex onto the softs, but said to Jigglypuff, "Nah, rain's coming, mate." Not quite sure about that one, but we'll wait and see. It is starting to get cloudy out there. The track looks like it might be getting a bit colder as well, so potentially the softs might be a better option than the ultra softs. They probably work, or rather they do have a better working temperature range to the softer compounded tyres. So
yeah, when the track gets pretty cold, it's very hard to control those softer compound tyres. You usually want to be on the middle compound.
Oh, absolutely. So yeah, he's just losing just a massive amount of time to Bernabé here.
I'm just looking at the car. There's not a single water droplet on the body of that car, so this decision doesn't make sense. He might have selected it accidentally, knowing that rain was coming and wanted a front wing change. It's not working for him right now.
Zylantos hasn't gained any positions, hasn't lost any either.
He's just absolute train as well.
He's running in the points at the moment, so I would say that's not a bad day, but obviously you want to get all the points you can. Just about all the drivers who are racing at the moment are going to be making points, so...
Yeah, there's only one driver out of the points. He was still alive, so...
Oh, we've got a couple of moves being made.
Oh, jeez. Too wide into there. And the Haas teammates as well.
Oh! Zylantos! Just giving Jigglypuff a bit of a...
I actually think that was Jigglypuff on the exit, lighting the tyres up. He came across on Zylantos when you check it. Yeah, there it is. He's making a little move to the left and then, gets the contact.
Yeah, okay, I see.
I think that would have been loss of traction more than anything.
But there's where the train was. It was Jigglypuff holding everyone up, so those inters are just absolutely punishing him at the moment.
Lost a heap of positions for it, losing heaps of time as well.
Oh, God, we're going to go 3 wide down here, maybe 4 wide. Who?
4 wide.
Oh, my God, who can...
Zylantos. Enough room for 4?
Zylantos making a move. Taking all 3 of them.
He's come out of this. I see the Sauber ahead. The Haas is pushing though. Zylantos has got them. What a move! He's gone from 10th to 6th in one corner.
What an absolute move that was! Just absolute opportunist down the straight. Found the hole between all 3 of them, and made it work.
He would have been getting slipstream from all the other cars in front of him as well.
Yeah, and absolutely just slippery down the straight, as you say, from the slipstream, and managed to make that work, and then wasn't challenged into turn 1, and was managed to take that one confidently without having to battle anyone through there. So absolutely great move by Zylantos. They're very impressive.
I really would have loved to see how fast he was going there. Potentially 345, 350.
Oh, absolutely.
Like that, with the slipstream of all the cars in front of him and the DRS. Would have been absolutely nutty.
Elite Alex is not going to give up that easily though, as he's now going to try down the straight. He's going to have that quite easily, really, isn't he? There's no real fighting there from Zylantos. Not much you can do when he's got DRS and he's had slipstream on you. So Elite Alex, he'll take.
It's pretty satisfying to make that, making that move there. You have to follow the car throughout the whole lap, and you just want to stick with them through the final sector. And when you manage to do it and overtake them so convincingly, it's just like, I've done the job there.
Harder to do on the softs against someone who's running on the ultra softs as well.
Yeah, definitely. But with the track temps dropping as well, that might have been made a little bit easier.
We've got a virtual safety car now as someone else. Oh, we've got Oswegian out.
There is rain.
There is rain. So we have Oswegian out, we have a virtual safety car, and there's finally rain. So now, has Jigglypuff made the right decision? Is he just within enough? Look, he's within 20 seconds or 21 seconds of IFAP to Jesus. So if Jesus wants to pit now and take the wheel, Jigglypuff will move up into 8th place, potentially some additional places as well as people start making decisions. Not everyone's going to be coming into the pits right now. There's going to be just some decisions made over team radio as to where they pit, when they pit, and how long they think the rain is going to last. We're on lap 17 of 26, so there's still a good, 9 laps to go.
Yeah, Jigglypuff, even though it's starting to come to his favour, it's still not wet enough for those tyres. And as well as that, they will have a ton of damage and wear just from driving on a dry track, because that tread on a dry track just doesn't last. It eats it away. So those tyres are going to be pretty dead coming into the end of this race if it does continue to rain like this.
Yeah, we shall see. Dan Man in the pits. Is he going to go into the inters as someone
getting a lot slidier out there? Very greasy.
Elite Alex doing a little bit of Tokyo drifting around that corner there.
I think you can start to see a sort of dry line forming.
Yeah, there's starting to be a balance and a shift in the tyres as well. It doesn't look like the Ultra Softs are working as well as the Softs, which again had that better
very slidey
working temperature range. Although, having said that, yeah, Burnabear's looking a little slidey as well, so potentially maybe they've all switched off. Potentially.
Yeah, she couldn't get the power down out of the corner, there's nothing there for her.
Yeah, no grip. So looks like none of the tyres are switching on now. So we've got Spartan right up in front. He's switched onto the Inter, so he thinks it's about time to be getting onto some wet tyres as well. So we might see on this lap, we might see a couple. Yeah, there we go. ESL in for pits.
I think that was the perfect time as well, because the DRS got disabled as he was coming out of the pits. So pretty good timing from Spartan there.
Kobold into the pits as well. Will we see Rustico jump into the pits?
Zylantos doing very well through that sector on those dry tyres.
I'm not seeing Elite Alex jumping either. Is Zylantos going to jump in this lap?
I imagine so. He's
lifting.
Down.
Yeah, there we go. So he'll be going on to some inters, I dare say. Elite Alex has pitted as well. Rustico is pitting as well, so they're all pitting for inters.
Yeah, you would hope so. You would want to go another lap on those dry tyres.
No, absolutely not.
Bernabear, though, looks like she has not pitted.
Oh no, there you go.
There it is. Sorry, it popped up.
Just a late decision, mate. Now hang on. Now just hold the phone. What is Rustico doing? Are they super softs?
Why? I think he hasn't selected the right tyre.
And we almost lost the wing.
That's not gone well for him at all.
Yeah, that has not gone well for him at all.
Dan has lost a minute to the next car. What's happened to him?
Well, he's on 0 laps. Did he pick for Ultra Softs?
ESL's on Ultra Softs.
What is McLaren thinking?
What is Toro Rosso thinking?
Oh, because they've got Jesus on the softs. What is happening with McLaren and Toro Rosso today? There are just some poor decisions being made.
And this is a gift to Bernabear. She's going to take 2 cars here out of nothing.
The strategists at McLaren and Toro Rosso need to be fired, if you ask me. That is some very poor decision making, honestly.
They used to work for Ferrari.
Yes, Ferrari strategists helping McLaren there. No, I trust. It's good decision. Yeah, and there you go. And Bernabear has just cleanly taken that position. She's now up into...
Jiggly really pushing on Zylantos here. And there's no DRS anymore, so overtaking down that back straight is going to be that little bit harder. So it's going to really depend on the exit you get out of this last corner. I know there's 2 more corners, but they're not really traditional corners.
The slipstream very powerful down that start-finish straight though.
Yeah, even without the DRS, it's very powerful. He is pretty close to Zylantos, so he's just got to hold the car together through these 2 corners.
Is he going to hear a bit of lifting? There's a bit of scraping.
I don't think he got damage from that.
No,
I think he'll be alright.
I think you're right.
Very lucky.
Or Zylantos lives to see another day.
He's still pretty close to him. I don't think he'll be able to move this lap.
Now ESL now going into the pits for the inters.
Yeah, he's made a mistake there. I think he's selected the wrong tyre.
Yeah.
Maybe he hasn't selected the Jeff option. And there he comes out of the pits now. Is he going to stay ahead of these 2? Just staying ahead of Deckers. Sorry, Zylantos and
Jigglybuff.
Bernabear getting that position on Rustico as well.
Jigglybuff going to make the move on Zylantos. They're going to play a bit of chicken. They've got ESL to worry about as well in the braking zone. This could be very interesting. And it looks like
enough room on the outside. Yeah, looks like it.
Jigglybuff makes the move stick. Zylantos gave him enough room. Very respectable driving there.
Yep, tucks in behind.
So Jigglybuff starting to make all the moves back, make all the positions back that he lost, making that early call. It doesn't look like he's lost much grip. Looks like he's doing much better out there as he's had more time on the inters as he's very close to ESL. So Jigglybuff's had a bit more time on the inters. He's probably gotten a bit more used to the braking, the later braking area, or rather I should say earlier braking area, and exactly how much throttle he can put on through those corners. So
once you learn how much you need to modulate, it's very easy to gain time on other drivers.
So a bit of experience gained from Jigglybuff by going onto those inters a bit earlier, which I think has helped get him the positions back. So he's running in 5th now, so not too bad.
The other thing as well is his tyres will be a little bit longer, so he won't have as much grip as the other guys as this race goes on.
So Rustico's still on the super softs, although the board here is telling me 11 laps, which just doesn't sound right. So there's obviously something not right going on there, as we have yellows in both Sector 1 and Sector 2. No, we still have 10 drivers, so...
Coming on the back of ESL now, looking to make a move around the outside. ESL is protecting the inside into the braking zone.
Oh!
ESL gives him a little touch. He's going to hit the wall. He hasn't got away with that one. There's wing on the track, so he does have damage
That
now.
one was never going to work.
Yeah, unfortunate. Looked like ESL gave him a little tap, and that was enough to push Jiggly a bit wide, and he wasn't recovering from there.
So we've got 6 laps to go on lap 20 now. They're all jostling for position, all wanting those extra few points before the end of the race.
I do think Rustico is on the tyre that it's showing, because he's losing a heap of time to Dan Man, who, remember, was a minute behind the next car. It's now down to 18 seconds in a matter of a couple laps. So.
Yeah, so Dan Man has obviously pitted for Inter's, 1 lap ago. So it's, Rustico has pitted though. We did see him go on to another set of super sauce, but it's interesting that it's telling us that was 11 laps ago, which just isn't correct. So there's something going on there. We're now on lap 21. Our race leader Spartan must have crossed the line just recently, so we're now on lap 21. So he's got an absolute power lead there from everyone else. Absolutely.
He's getting a bit slidey on the exit of that corner there.
So Spartan just needs to is in absolute control of this race. He just needs to play it easy, play it safe. He's got an entire 51 seconds on Cobalt.
He could pit. He has a safe pit stop, but he won't need to.
He shouldn't need to. No, you're right. But all he needs to do is just breeze through the race. He needs to take 0 risks, take it nice and gentle, easy breezy, beautiful cover girl.
10 seconds a lap.
And there you go. You've won the race all the way from 8th. from 3rd down to 8th with a grid penalty, and look where he is now. He's had an absolute blinder.
Oh, and Rustico going on to the full wets now, so is it really getting very wet out there? As it looks like Jigglypuff is going towards the pit lane. Yeah, he is. So some of these guys going onto full wet tyres now. So
it just doesn't look that wet yet. It just doesn't look. It just doesn't look that wet yet. I mean, but
some of these guys are struggling.
I think I just saw Zylantos go a bit wide, so yeah, you're right, they are struggling.
Jiggly did have that damage though, so maybe he's pitting for another set of inters. Yeah, he has. That's exactly what he's doing.
Well, he's got he has time to do it, so not a bad decision from Jigglypuff there. So making up for the earlier decision of pitting onto inters.
Yeah, and with Spartan at this point, he can lose 10 seconds a lap, and he's still got a stake in the bag.
Yeah, Spartan absolutely having a blind. I don't know if he's really good under wet conditions or what the go is there. He's just had, absolute blinder.
And these two fighting behind him, Cobalt will be defending against Elite Alex, so he's going to get even more time potentially. Yeah, not even pushing.
Yeah, well, you're right. He's already gained a second. He's almost there you go, 53.4 seconds ahead of Cobalt. So these two battling away is just helping Spartan increase his lead.
Getting very close to the wall there, Elite Alex is, and he's
ESL is out. ESL is out.
He's gone.
We've had another DNF.
Lost it somewhere. He's lost it somewhere.
So we'll have a look. We'll ride on board here with Jigglypuff to see if we can't see where ESL has lost it. Come on, cameraman person.
So we might miss that one. He's already left the session, so the car might not even be there at this point.
Yeah, very true.
Elite is right on Cobalt. I think there was contact there even. Are they lifting on the straight?
Cobalt might have some wind potentially. I don't know what was going on there. Elite Alex was having to lift. Yeah. So ESL out of this race. He's now we've now only got 9 drivers in the race.
The good thing for ESL is he'll still get a point.
He will still make points.
He's lost 11 because he was in 4th, wasn't he? He already got 12 points.
Yeah, he was running in 4th. So yeah, massive, unfortunate race for ESL. For Toro Rosso as a whole, it's all up to Jesus now. Jesus, take the wheel.
He's got a good gap to Rustico at the moment, so he hasn't got too many warriors from behind. It's just keeping the car on the track.
Yeah, minute 40.
With 20 seconds to burn it there, there's not really much point in pushing ahead.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Jiddy. A whole minute 48.
Zylantos is in the pits for wets now.
Interesting call. So some drivers out here think it's wet enough for the full wets. I still don't think it's wet enough, but I mean, they're going to obviously be the better judges. If they're losing grip around the track, then fair enough. But it just doesn't feel like a full wet track yet. There's just not enough spray coming up.
Oh, there's a car off the track there.
There's a racing point
that's
or Force India. No, that's Burner Bear.
Burner Bear?
So Bernabé
That
having...
helps IFAP.
So Bernabé... Yeah, so suddenly we're talking about IFAP not needing to push. Well, suddenly he's now going to make up a whole bunch of time on Berner.
It's 6 seconds now, so
what is he going to do?
He's within range. And she might have damage as well.
So Jiddy, if you were an old ex Toro Rosso driver last season, so what would you do in Jesus' position?
Well, what I would do in Jesus' position is try and focus on the sector times, just making sure I get the car around the track, but also trying to push as much as I can. It's very hard on a track that's getting misled. You know, some guys going onto full wets now, so it's just a matter of keeping the car going. And he's 2 seconds behind. He can breeze past Bernabé here. She has got damage.
Yeah, she's obviously lost a lot of wing there. As he's now 0.6 seconds. Yeah, he'll have her down the straight. Hopefully he doesn't try and do anything silly and make a dive.
He doesn't need to.
He doesn't need to.
Behind, so
no,
he
you're
can just
absolutely right.
wait and take her on the straight.
Oh, but he's going to do it anyway! Oh, IFAP, what are you doing, mate?
Oh, he's going to let her go past. He knows that wasn't very fair.
Oh, that is just... We saw Zylantos do that earlier in the race and it just doesn't work there. Those curbs would bump you around and jump you around and you're unstable on the landing and you just can't recover from that.
And now the question is, does he have wing damage as well? And does that make it easier for Bernabé to hold on to the position?
So tough day for Toro Rosso. Tough day in the office for...
He's still with there, so he won't be able to make the move down this straight. Potentially could still have the pace on Bernabé.
Yeah, Bernabé very lucky.
And they both should have the pace on Zylantos at this point. The gap is around 11 seconds with 3 laps to go. I'm not sure how those wets are faring. They seem to be holding their own now. Yeah. So potentially the track is wet enough for those wets to come into their own.
Yeah, interesting.
And in fact, he's pulling away from Bernabé. It might also be that they both have front wing damage.
Yeah, I dare say that's going to be as a result of the front wing damage. So Zylantos lucky that he hasn't lost more time to them. Looks like IFAP's going to have another crack at this. Hopefully he's learnt his lesson and he'll now do it down a straight.
It looks like his front wing is intact as well. It doesn't look like he has any damage there, so he was very lucky to get away with it.
Oh, he's going to make the move through the chicane. IFAP, what are you doing?
Oh,
Bernabé jumping the curb.
Don't make the move into here. Oh, he's got
enough space.
He's all the way ahead now. Yeah, I think Bernabé's just realised she just has to let him go. There's no point fighting it. It's gonna happen. We're not gonna hold him off for another 3 laps. So.
Well, she's moving very gingerly through that castle section there.
Yeah, I think that's a...
Oh! Lost the back end. She's managed to recover, though.
Oh, that was a scary moment. She could have gone straight into the...
Now, here we go. We've got Danman on Rustico, the 2 McLaren drivers, teammates. What's going to happen here? Are we going to get team orders, or are we going to let them race? I wonder.
I reckon Rustico has to go. I'm on the wrong tyre, teammate. Just go past. But they are fighting, which is interesting.
He did think about it.
Yeah, if I was in Rustico's position, I'd definitely just let my teammate go if we were on a different tyre coming out of mine was not working. But to each their own, he's not entitled to give up the position, like he doesn't have to. So if he wants to hold it.
Actual family members in real life, I wonder if the son wants to make a move on the father and show, I've got the moves, Dad, I'm quicker than you. So we'll
Are they actually?
Yeah, they are actually, yeah.
Oh, nice. So they're like Combat Rat and Skins.
Correct, yeah. So, actual IRL family members, Rustico the father and Danman is the son. So Danman will want to, not sure whether he wants to make his dad proud by overtaking him, or if Rustico wants to...
If I was Danman in this situation, I'd be yelling across the house, Dad, just let me go!
So he's had a bit of a nudge on the wall.
That's the hit on the wall.
That's not looking good at all.
Well, he might not have the pace now to even overtake him. So.
Yeah, and there's no DRS down the straight either.
There's nothing for them to lose. I mean, it's very unlikely someone ahead of them is going to crash out. But you never know. You want to try and keep going just in case. Even if they crash out at this point, they still have points. So.
I'm just looking at the timesheet here. Yep, there we go.
There is an overtake.
There is an overtake, so move done.
Got him down the straight level.
The mentor or the mentee becomes the mentor, or the student becomes the teacher, shall we say?
What's going on with Spartan now as he comes around the final corner?
to
start the final lap when it gets to the end of the straight.
Yeah, so we're just right on board with Spartan, I think, if we don't switch away to any other battles. There doesn't appear to be anything else going on. There's quite large gaps between everyone else on the track, so I think we are just going to follow along with Spartan here as he has commanded the race, to be honest. After that safety car restart, he's really just commanded the race from there, hasn't he?
Yeah, and I think he started further back as well because he had that grid penalty, didn't he?
Yeah,
he was in 8th or something like that, and he's made up 7 positions.
But that's absolutely right, Jiddy. So starting from 3rd on quali, 5-place grid penalty on 8th, or down to 8th, should I say. So starting 8th on the race, spins on the first turn. So starting from the back around turn 2, and now look where he is. He's just managed to just make it work. Done the right strategy, made the right calls. Had a really good start off the safety car, and has just commanded the race from there. So he's had an absolute just stellar race.
Yeah, just a blinder for him coming back from all the way at the bottom of the grid. I think it was after lap 1 or something to that effect. So very Hamilton at Germany last season-esque.
And this will be what Williams will need. I don't think they have many points on the board at the moment for the Constructors' Championship, so this will be really what they need to get back into the fight. It's still early days, early in the season, and this is exactly what they want. Shame, unfortunately, that Oswegians crashed and DNF'd. There's going to be no points for him, just outside the points as well, with ESL beating him out. But this will definitely be what Williams will need. And unfortunately, for Elite Alex, he hasn't managed to clinch the win yet. Has some great one-lap pace, but just can't be consistent, but just doesn't seem to find consistency during the race, unfortunately. So
yeah, I think was he one of the drivers who made one of the wrong tyre calls?
So it was Elite Alex who was on the ultra softs during the safety car reset. So goes a little bit squirrely there for Spartan as he comes through the penultimate corner.
He will not want to bin it here. Just take it in second gear if you have to, mate. Just get to the end.
Do not bin it there, mate. That would be just very embarrassing, wouldn't it? So it's still a very good race for Haas, leading the Constructors' Championships at the moment. They've got 2 very good strong drivers there with Elite Alex and Jigglybuff. They've got one of them on the podium today. Unfortunately, Jigglybuff just couldn't clinch 3rd place off Cobalt there, but he still had a very strong race and taken away what I think will be not maximum points, but definitely the most points that I think Haas could have gotten away with.
Definitely a good result. Definitely a good result for them. They're still getting I think it's 30 points, 18 plus 12. So yeah, very good result.
Yeah, so they are going to be the ones to beat. I think Sauber's not too far off them. And I don't think Toro Rosso are too far off them from memory. I'd have to go back and check my my figures, but they are definitely leading the pack, and they're starting to run away with it. So, 2 very strong drivers there. It'll be very good to see Elite Alex take a podium, take a win this season if he can manage to get the consistency.
Yeah. I think it's more just when it's going to happen as to if.
Yeah.
He definitely has the pace.
Oh, absolutely. Good to see Cobalt. I think this is his first podium as well, so he's had relatively quiet race. He hasn't gotten into too many collisions, I don't believe. His teammate unfortunately crashing out on turn 1, which is very unfortunate. So Ferrari not going to be taking as many points away as they can. Pure Salt is a strong driver for that team. But thankfully, Cobalt's managed to take away 3rd place.
Yeah, 15 points in the bag for the team. Not a bad effort. I think Benotto will be very happy with that.
And we're just waiting for Jigglybuff to cross the line now. So.
Yeah, and Rustico as well. I'm not sure who's going to cross the line first. They are a lap between them. Oh yeah, there it goes. Yeah, good result for the top 3 there. So Spartan, Elite, and Cobalt in the end.
Yeah, very
across the line on those podium positions.
Very interesting race. A lot of DNFs as well. I think you and I both thought there would be.
Yeah, definitely.
So
especially with the rain causing more chaos, it would have made it easier.
Yeah, the rain is always an interesting factor, isn't it? I mean, when you factor in rain, then suddenly it's not necessarily the fastest. It can be sometimes about who makes the best call to switch to the wet tyres first.
And even who is the safest driver as well. If you manage to keep it out of the walls, that can just give you a win.
Yeah, so, well, that was the race. Thank you so much for joining us as we watch our 3 champions celebrate up there on the podium, and we'll just get a quick final tally in terms of points. But thank you once again for watching, and thank you very much for Jiddybit for participating in the commentary today.
Pleasure to be here.
And we will see you all next week.
See ya.